What's going on, guys? I've got an awesome Battlefield 4 loadout for you today. This is actually one of the themes that gave me the idea for this series, so I'm super excited to finally get round to it. So we're going to take a look at building a loadout to play as a SEAL Team 6 operator. We're going to base this theme on Operation Geronimo and use two reference movies of Zero Dark 30 and SEAL Team 6, the raid on Osama bin Laden. Zero Dark 30 is probably the more famous of the two, but I found that movie pretty boring, and it kind of lives up to its name in that by the time you get to that raid scene, you can see naff all because it's just too dark. On the other hand, SEAL Team 6, the raid on Osama bin Laden, is more of a dramatisation of the story from the SEAL's perspective, and it's much more action-packed, so I definitely recommend checking that one out if you haven't already seen it. Basing this Battlefield 4 loadout on the two movies means you can kind of mix and match the various weapons and equipment that's featured. And I'm sure you've guessed it already, but we're going to be featuring the M416, which is in my opinion one of the best weapons in the game, which means this loadout is pretty easy to use. So the HK416, known in-game as the M416, is now famous as being the weapon that took down Osama bin Laden. We do have a few different configuration options based on these two movies, although the holographic sight for the optic, a suppressor as the barrel attachment, and a vertical grip for the underbarrel is consistent between both movies. But we do have a couple of options for the accessory. We could either go with that laser/light combo to completely kit up our HK416 with that full-on tactical appearance. The SEAL Team 6 movie does focus more on flashlights as opposed to the night vision and laser sights, but that's the theme I'm going to go for our Battlefield 4 loadout, and I'm going to use the green laser to represent the infrared laser beam that's only seen through those night vision goggles. The green laser sight and the vertical grip are two attachments that are only available through battle packs, but with the M416 being such a competitive weapon, it's not so much of a challenge to completely rank it up. As you probably know already, this loadout series is all about making authentic attachment choices which don't necessarily play well in game. You can't really go wrong with a holographic sight or a laser sight, but it is arguable whether the suppressor does actually offer you any benefits. The suppressor isn't usually an attachment I'd go for, but in the case of the M416, this weapon's got quite manageable recoil as standard, so you don't really need to go with a muzzle brake or a compensator, so it makes sense to opt for that suppressor to help stay off the radar for that extra stealthiness, which will come in handy when we take a look at the field upgrades that I'll recommend later. The only attachment that isn't really a good fit performance-wise is the vertical grip. This attachment only really increases your hip-fire accuracy, which isn't too important in Battlefield. I'd otherwise tend to go with either the angled grip or the stubby grip. But this combination of attachments is great for role-playing as a SEAL Team 6 operator, and it's still loads of fun to use. The Zero Dark 30 film doesn't show any use of the SEAL's sidearm whatsoever, so that's where the other SEAL Team 6 movie comes in. We do actually see the SIG P226 used in training, so that's the weapon we'll choose for our Battlefield 4 loadout. And once again, just like with many of these real-life loadouts that I've featured so far, we're going to leave the iron sights as well as equip no accessory and leave the standard barrel. Another piece of equipment that's used in the SEAL Team 6, the raid on Osama bin Laden movie, is the M84 Flashbang Grenade, which is something we can equip in Battlefield 4. Once again, performance-wise, this doesn't really offer us any benefits, but it's great for role-playing, so you can toss this into a room where you know there's an Osama bin camping. The use of the suppressor that I mentioned earlier does tie into this field upgrade that I've selected. With Operation Geronimo being an undercover strike, it makes sense to go with the shadow upgrade. This grants us extra abilities such as quick unspot, faster sprint, reduced fall damage, as well as being undetectable by motion sensors. So this all obviously fits into the stealth theme, especially when combining it with the use of the suppressor, which is going to prevent you showing up on that mini-map when you open fire. The only other main way you're going to be detected is via being spotted, but that's where this perk comes in to give you that quick unspot ability by reducing the time you're spotted by 2 seconds. If you and your whole squad want to roleplay as SEAL Team 6, then the vehicle of choice I'd recommend is the Z9 Heighten transport helicopter. But I can already see those angry comments coming in saying, "Chris, the Z9 is a Chinese helicopter and this is a United States Special Force, what are you playing at?" But I reckon this is the closest helicopter we've got in game to match those stealth-equipped Black Hawks that we see in the Zero Dark 30 movie. The transport helicopter that we get in Battlefield 4 for the US side is the Huey, which looks nothing like it, but this Z9 at least has some similarities. Then I always like to include a Battle Pack specific bonus item that would really finish off this loadout, so in the case of the SEAL Team 6 setup, I'd recommend the Marpack camouflage for your soldier. I think the authentic real-life camouflage pattern is AOR1, but it's almost identical to Desert Marpat. with them both being based on a digital theme. So all in all, this is one epic loadout that's incredible fun to use, so I definitely recommend giving it a try in Battlefield 4. It's great fun making use of a helicopter and getting into character, dropping off your squad mates into a compound. Those stealth abilities can often result in you getting stuck deep behind enemy lines and slowly picking people off. If you do have some fun with this loadout, or if you just enjoyed my video, I'd really appreciate a like down below just to help spread the word and share the video with your friends. Don't forget to check out the link to the full playlist to check out all the previous episodes that I've posted so far. While you're in there, you'll also find my links to Twitter and Facebook so you can come and say hello and get a heads up on what loadouts I'm working on next. Otherwise, thanks for watching. I'll catch you all later.